I'm Sandi Toksvig, and this is Watch the Dickens, the panel show that takes a harmless stroll around culture's fair garden, only to be brutally ejected from the premises by culture's extremely unfair gardener. Let's first of all welcome our captains, comedian and Sony Award winner Chris Addison, and comedian and Sony Walkman owner Sue Perkins. Sue's guest tonight qualified as a doctor before becoming a regular panellist on I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, which, coincidentally, is what my GP says every time I see him. It's Graeme Garden. And Chris's guest is a stand-up comic who recently wrote a book called How to Be Cool, and as you can see, I followed his fashion tips closely. So now we're both officially bitching. It's Will Smith. Our first round is 3 steps to heaven. Teams are given a series of 3 photos, each offering a visual clue to a famous film, book or play. 3 points are awarded if teams can guess the answer from the difficult first image, reducing to just 1 for the third, which is frankly so easy peasy, you'll be embarrassed to claim the point. So Sue and Graeme, you're going to start. And here is your very first image. It's called Love's Paradox. It's by British artist Damien Hirst.
It's a sort of meat collage, isn't it?
I suppose the bit in the middle is for vegetarians. Let's go on to the second photo. Why one would torture an egg in such a way, I don't know. I can only assume it eventually cracked. The key here is the word vice. So what? Thinking laterally about...
vice, crime,
preserved vice.
Shall I go on to the last one, do you think?
Yes.
Yes, why not?
Yes.
This is Leslie Joseph, seen here with Linda Robson, both stars of the very fine comedy Birds of a Feather. I say very fine in the sense of slender, almost to the point of non-existence.
It's the sins of our feathers.
The clue is Leslie Joseph's character name.
Oh,
what was she called?
Not Fabian.
Dorian.
Dorian Gray.
Sins
A
of
picture of Dorian Gray.
The picture of Dorian Gray. Absolutely right. Damien Hirst's creature is preserved forever, much like Dorian Gray himself, while the portrait in his attic deteriorates. The vice signifies the sins in which he indulges as his painted likeness begins to age. Dorian, as played by Leslie Joseph, is, somewhat less complicatedly, the central character's first name. So you had 1 point there. Well done.
Oh.
In the novel, the picture ages horrifically and ends up taking on a life of its own before presenting Strictly Come Dancing. Chris and Will, here is your first picture clue.
Oh, God.
That's Mary Whitehouse, of course, the British morality campaigner, now 6 feet under, in death as in life, surrounded by degrading filth. Any first stabs, teams?
Why is she wearing the pelt of many badgers on her head, is what I want to know.
This is as near to sex as she could get. Have a look at your second photo, and I'm sure you recognise this slightly mad, sex-obsessed comic figure, and no, we're not still talking about Mary Whitehouse, or indeed Russell Brand. It's the talented Miss Paris Hilton we're looking at.
Is it Lady and the Tramp?
Paris is probably
Paris?
a bit more important. So Paris and Whitehouse. No?
No.
Gonna go for the last one?
Yeah, go on.
B.
Yes.
Oh, it's Casablanca.
It is Casablanca, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the moral activist Mary Whitehouse, the immoral activist Paris Hilton, and a hill of beans. And it was, of course, Casablanca.
You say, of course.
Yeah.
Could you just talk me through some of the
I
things?
certainly can. In reverse order, I'll do them for you, OK? A hill of beans, Humphrey Bogart's oft-quoted line from the classic airport scene. It doesn't take much to see that the problems of 3 little people don't amount to a hill of beans. Paris is the location for the earlier affair between Bogey's Rick and Ingrid Bergman's Ilsa. And the first clue, Whitehouse,
Casablanca.
is Casablanca, if you had a smattering of Spanish. You do get, in fact, 1 point.
You know, at the end of Casablanca, because it was only a B movie to begin with, they ran out of money for the final scene at the airport. So the final scene where there's an airport, there's an aeroplane in the distance with passengers moving towards it. They're kids done up in half-size costumes.
No.
It's a model plane, yeah.
So it's like a perspective joke.
Yeah.
There's a load of children.
It is, yeah.
Did you pack these bags helps yourself, sir.
One of the famous things is that he wore 5-inch heels for the entire film, so that he could tower over Ingrid Bergman. But had he been next to the children, he could have taken his shoes off. It would have been...
Absolutely, yes.
One of the lines most closely associated with the film, Play It Again, Sam, is actually a misquotation. What Rick actually says is, enough of this crap, Sam, do you know any Chaz and Dave? At the end of that round, I can tell you the score is 1-1. The second round is called Yes, and I'm Mickey Mouse. We introduce a member of the public who shares his or her name with a famous character from literature, film or song. And the teams have to identify who he or she is via a series of pointed questions to which the answer can only be yes or no. However, teams have just 90 seconds to carry out their cross-examination, after which they must give an answer. So, Chris and Will, let's meet your fictional namesake. Hello there, how are you? Right, our guest shares his name with a popular character from literature, and for the audience only, here's his name. So, Chris and Will, your 90 seconds starts now.
Are you in just one novel?
Yes.
OK. Are you the title character of the novel?
Yes.
Do you steal a yacht?
No.
I just couldn't think of any more questions.
Oh,
Will.
right, OK. You're a man? Are you a
No.
man?
Ah!
No. You're not a man?
No.
Are you a woman?
No.
Are you a pig?
No.
Are you an animal?
Yes.
What? Are you Danger Mouse?
No.
I want him to be Danger Mouse.
Is your name Winnie the Pooh?
No.
Are you in children's fiction?
Yes.
OK. Are you Toad Hall? Are you...
What?
Are you
Ears for
Moley?
Rat?
No.
Are
No.
you
One of the weasels?
No.
Badger?
Washerwoman? No.
Are you the Washerwoman's daughter?
No, it's not in that book. It's just you're in the right area.
Oh, right.
What,
We're in the
Toad
right...
of Toad Hall is right area.
Quickly, quickly.
Are you a dog?
Are you a dog?
One final guess.
Are you...
Mrs. Tiggy Winkle?
No. Graham, any ideas?
No.
Willow the Wisp.
Can I introduce Jeremy Fisher?
Oh! What a great name!
The gentleman shares his name with Beatrix Potter's famous fictional frog, Jeremy Fisher. I'm afraid no points there to anybody. Has it always been a subject of, I don't know, pleasure or irritation?
Mainly irritation. I rarely admit to it.
So this show must help you then.
Yes.
Come to terms, I imagine, yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
It's Jeremy Fisher, ladies and gentlemen. Besides being a famous author, Beatrix Potter was also a renowned expert on wild mushrooms, which might explain the talking frog dressed in waistcoat and cravat. Anybody's got a famous namesakes? Are there any other... Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Will Smith, of course.
Oh, cursed.
Are you cursed? Do people
Men in
often
Black.
often confuse you with the other? Yeah.
When I dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you check into a hotel and you say it's Will Smith, do they get all of a tizzy?
Well, I try and say William. Well, it's actually my stage name. So
Oh,
annoyingly, I know.
What's your real name?
Wesley Snipes.
Sue and Graham, time to meet your namesake. Now, I can tell you that she shares her name with a character from literature, and for the audience only, here's her given name.
Oh dear. So it's pantomime.
Well, you've got 90 seconds.
Widow Twankey.
You are 20th century?
No.
19th?
Yeah.
Jane Austen.
Are you written by a man?
No.
So you're female penned. Let's think of all
By a
that.
woman.
Oh dear, right. So the female novelist, not
George Eliot.
Austen,
By
yes.
George Eliot.
Oh,
Not by the Brontes.
not by the Brontes. It is by the Brontes. It's by Emily Bronte.
No.
Charlotte Bronte.
Yes.
Charlotte Bronte's written Villette. No, that was a character, isn't it?
Yes.
Are you? Now hang on. Charlotte Bronte. Did she write Wuthering Heights? Did she write Wuthering
Have a
Heights?
go. Try it.
Right. Are you in Wuthering Heights?
No.
Damn. Are you in? Are you?
Tenant of Wildfell
That's
Hall.
Anne Bronte.
Oh,
Are
no.
you in Shirley?
No.
just haven't randomly brought somebody in called Shirley.
No, what was the other books they wrote? Jane Eyre.
What did you say?
Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre.
The most obvious one I can't get. The really easy one I can't get, but I'm all over Villette, I tell you, all over it.
This lady is, in fact, Jane Eyre, also the titular heroine of Charlotte Bronte's... Titular?
You've just met her, Sandy. You can't say stuff like that.
Also the heroine of Charlotte Bronte's classic 1847 novel. So I need to know if this was something that was done on purpose. Were your parents?
No,
they
it
didn't,
wasn't. No,
didn't think it through.
They didn't realise till afterwards that...
Were you born pre-18? You look good on it, I tell you.
So has it been a curse or a blessing?
No, it's been nice, really, because I got a lot of nice comments.
Yeah, and do you actually like the book?
Yeah, I do.
And is your husband blind?
Not yet.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jane Eyre.
Oh, lovely.
Well, and you were absolutely right. So Sue and Graeme get 2 points for that. The two eldest of the 6 Bronte children died shortly after leaving school, which made for slightly grim reading when the new term started and the surviving 4 handed in their essays on what I did on my holidays. Well, I can tell you, at the end of that round, Chris and Will have got 1 point, but Sue and Graeme are quite well in the lead with 3. Well, we're all about to pop off for a minute or two, but in the meantime, can any of you answer this little teaser? What was the title of the 1966 novel about the first Mrs. Rochester, Bertha Mason? See you after the break. Welcome back to What the Dickens, where before the break I asked you at home what was the title of the 1966 novel about the first Mrs. Rochester, Bertha Mason. Any thoughts?
The Wide Sargasso Sea.
It is The Wide Sargasso Sea by Jean Rhys.
Fantastic.
Next up, it's Love It or Loathe It, the round where our guests choose a work that either delights them or fills them with unremitting hatred. The opposing team cross-question each guest, who have to claim in turn both to loathe and love their chosen work, and to be equally convincing whether arguing for or against. The opposition then try to guess where their true feelings lie. Now, Graeme, you're in the dock first of all. What is your chosen work?
It's a film, The Third Man.
OK. Are you going to start by loving it or loathing it?
I don't like it, I loathe it.
You don't have to convince me, you've got to convince the boys, starting now.
OK, well, I just think it is one of probably the most overrated film of all time. And, I mean, Orson Welles as Harry Lime is so camp as to be completely unbelievable. The great moment when he's sort of, allegedly great moment, where he's standing in the doorway and the light comes on and you see his face and he gives a little cheeky grin. It's Harry Lime. The photography is just irritating. In The Third Man, the cameraman tilts his camera all the time, so everything's skew-whiff. And rather than giving you some sort of insight into the heart and the feeling of the film, it's just annoying that everything looks as if it wasn't quite right.
Let's hear the flip side of the coins. You had Graeme Fairs going the other way. Now I want you to love The Third Man.
It is my favourite film of all time. And Harry Lime is one of the great villains of all time. And it's only when you realise the horror of what he's doing, of selling dilute penicillin, that you come to see the other side of Harry Lime as this dreadful crook. And you're very pleased to see him get shot in the sewers.
I've not seen it, but thanks for that.
The camera work is stunning. It's pure black and white. The angles that the camera takes are just dislocate your idea of a stable society. The place looks as if it's all skew-whiff, and the morality and everything about it is skew-whiff. And the performances are terrific, without exception.
Blimey, I don't know. Anything else you want to know, Chris?
Oh, good, don't you?
Who is the director of cinematography?
Krasker, I think his name was.
Krasker.
That's such a boy's question.
No, it's more to do with if Graeme knows the name of a man who would have been quite important to the style of the film. Yeah. I reckon he might like it.
Yeah, I'm going for he likes it.
Yeah, we're going for love.
You love it. You love it.
Yeah.
It's your favourite film.
Ooh. Graeme, do you love it?
Yeah.
Or loathe The Third Man?
I'm dying to find out.
I think it's very persuasive on both counts, actually.
Yes.
Many congratulations. Bring this baby home.
Okay.
Over to Will now. We're going to go from the third man to what, Will?
To Mamma Mia. Yes. The film, not the stage version.
And do you love or loathe it to begin with?
I loathe it.
You loathe it. All right.
I
well,
loathe it.
Go ahead and persuade Sue and Graeme.
Well, I saw this film under duress. It was my wife's choice. That's right, back off, ladies. This bull's tethered. Someone would say to Meryl Streep, "Oh, don't be so down in the dumps. Remember when you were young? You used to go dancing." Yeah, I was kind of a dancing queen. Into a song. And then on top of that, you got Pierce Brosnan, who, thank you, I mean, you know what's coming. Simply cannot sing. I mean, it's awful. It's like, imagine watching Gordon Brown breakdancing. It's just, it's a car crash. I hated it.
If you don't hate this film, then there's something wrong with you. If you say to me you love it, we can no longer be friends. I mean, it is ridiculous.
What kind of musical do you like? Can you name a musical that you enjoyed?
I don't really like musicals. So,
In that shirt?
Come now, giddy horse.
it's like the lifestyle.
When this film first came out, I was asked if I would review it for the Radio Times and go and meet ABBA in Sweden. And Columbia Pictures, I think it is, they were so anxious about this film that they said, "We're going to send you a 10-minute excerpt to your home." And so anxious were they that I was going to, I don't know, steal the thing. They had burned my name all the way through the film. It said Sandi Toksvig all the way through. And it was a thrilling moment at the end where my name came up next to Meryl Streep's. And, but now I require you, please, Will, to love Mamma Mia.
Well, I absolutely love Mamma Mia. I saw it under duress. It was my wife's choice. And I don't normally like musicals, but I thought it had a tremendous verve to it. I'd forgotten how great ABBA are. So you get these great songs. Yes, it doesn't really make any sense. It's flung together. But I just thought the energy with which the cast carried it off was fantastic. They really went for it. It's very entertaining. And Pierce Brosnan cannot sing, which is hilarious. And it also has enabled me to come up with my wife and I's favourite game, which is imagining things that the recording engineers had to say to Pierce Brosnan to excuse the fact they were making him do another take. You know, things like, "Sorry, Pierce, bit of a pop on the mic there. Cool, that was great. We just forgot to record it. Hey, how about this time? Just try and sing it out of tune. See what happens."
Can I just check, Will, if you've been married a long time, if this is your wife's favourite game?
I always find when people say the film's got a lot of energy, that means it was cack. But it was frenzied cack.
Wait a minute, I got a question. Who's the director of photography? You're going to have to decide.
I think Will is the kind of person who would love an intro like "I used to be a bit of a dancing queen" to then go into that number.
I'm never wearing this shirt again.
The shirt.
He loathes it. He loathes it.
Oh, I think he loved it.
Do you?
Oh, tension between the teams there.
I think he loathes it, but I'm happy to go with you, Graeme, if you think he loves it.
Shall I take the blame?
Take the blame, go on.
All right, we'll say he loves it.
All right,
I
we're
think he
going.
hates
We're
every
going.
waking second. I know him. I know he
Who
hates
can
it.
be surprised? We're going for love.
He hates it. He hates all things.
Yeah.
You, I know, respect you. No.
Brilliant!
It's rubbish. How could you? You're a traitor.
It was just
You
brilliant.
disgusting.
Smile on my face.
You disgust
It does what it says on the tin.
Yes, this
And
marriage.
the tin
is
it says it's crap.
This marriage, is it a cover?
ABBA get their name from the initials of the four singers. No one knows what happened to the original lineup of Sven, Helga, Ingrid and Thomas. And their occasional member Eric, who only played gigs in the north.
Nice. One for our Hibernian friends.
At the end of that round, I can tell you that Chris and Will have got 3 points, but Sue and Graeme are in the lead with 5.
All to play for.
So we've got Chris and Will trailing, but we reach the final round, losing the plot. Captains must communicate as many plots of films, books, plays, even songs to their teammates as they can within 90 seconds. However, they cannot mention any names or places and must not allude to the title in any way. Now, at the moment, we have in the lead Sue and Graeme, and so they get to start. And you have 90 seconds starting from now.
Serial killer loves to eat things with fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, it's Watergate. There's all things going on. Very
All the
famous.
President's Men.
I closed my eyes. I drew back the curtains. Will would love this, OK? Absolutely love it. To see for certain whether it was true. Based on a biblical
Joseph
story.
and his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
And I suppose if you like Gold Top and you like it quickly, this would be incredibly good for you. You need it fast, that dairy product. You need it delivered by somebody who's so fast.
Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West.
Exactly. When I need to plough a field and I wanted to sing a song about it, I'd probably need a machine that could thresh at high speed with rotating blades of incredible magnitude. What an agricultural marvel. Ooh, I need someone with a West Country accent to sing it for me.
I've got a brand new combine.
Thank you. The only famous book about a whale, classic novel.
Moby Dick.
And, the Yellow Pages did a campaign which alluded to this. It involves a rod and just throwing it
Fly
into
Fishing
the...
by J.R. Hartley.
And I'd like to go and see several people married, but also one of them who's died. And I'd like to make
4
a
weddings and a funeral.
Well done. You had 8 correct, which added up to your score at the moment. You've got 13 in total. So, boys, you need 11 in order to win. Your 90 seconds starts now.
This is about 2 dogs. It's animated.
Plague dogs.
What the fuck?
It's a sequel to Watership Down!
It's about
Plague
2
dogs?
dogs, right?
Lady and the Tramp.
Yes, OK. This is also about 2 animals. They go to sea in a beautiful pea green boat.
Alan the Pussycat.
Yes, that's right. This is about a number of human males who go up the Thames in a craft. It's a Edwardian novel. That's it. This was the average age of the soldier sent to
19.
That's correct. This is about aliens. They exist on our world. They've given us their technology. It's a comedy film. It's a huge CGI film.
Oh, Men in Black.
But it's the one that came after that, which would be...
Men in Black 2.
That's correct. This is about things that fly in the sky. It's called...
Birds.
That's right. An enormous monkey goes up...
King Kong.
Yeah, that's it. A man is a royal man. His 3 daughters abandon him, except he abandons one of the daughters, only it turns out she really loves him. Gloucester loses his eyes.
Gloucester loses his eye.
King
It's
Lear.
all fun and games until Gloucester loses his
Well
eye.
done. Well, I can tell you that Chris and Will got 7 points, which added to the 3 they've already got makes 10, but it wasn't quite enough because Sue and Graeme had 13. So what this is all leading up to is that our bloodied but far from disgraced losers are Chris and Will, which means our victorious but self-effacing winners are Graeme and Sue. This has been What the Dickens. I've been Sandi Toksvig, and I'm appearing all week at the Drury Lane Theatre. Well, those Maltesers aren't going to sell themselves. I'll see you there. Good night.
On Sky Arts 2, Leslie Garrett's 20 operas to see before you die reaches The Barber of Seville. Curtain up in just a moment. Here on Sky Arts 1 and Sky Arts HD, we're off on a road trip to Artland, USA.